Welcome back to What Arty Noobs. This is a Burza. It's a tier 6 Polish tank destroyer. It's located on the west spawn of Airfield and it's under the command of Yarbas of OLIMP. Game on. Well, this tank destroyer has a 100mm gun. It's capable of doing 280 hit points of damage, 280 alpha, 182mm of pen with standard ammo, and with the premium rounds that goes up to 220mm of penetration. So it's actually quite decent. It's got a big alpha and quite a lot of damage. It's also got quite a lot of armor at the front of the vehicle. As you can see, makes it very difficult, but it does have a few weak spots. You can see there's one straight away in the cupola. Well, that's very flat, but it can be penetrated if you can get an accurate shot. Now, Yarbas has decided he's going to go right to the back on this one. Range is not really much of a problem. It's more of actually being able to get shots on the enemy without the enemy being able to get shots on him. You can hear that big gun firing. Hasn't quite got the big gun, the 122 that you get on the Gawica, the tier 7, but it's still a very powerful gun. And look at that, there's the Hellcat. He doesn't realize that the bush won't protect him, and although he's unspotted at the moment, oh, that one hit the rock just slightly to the left, and you should be able to get him. Okay, I think that one hit the rock behind, so I don't think it hit target. Standard reload 8.05 seconds. You can see that he's managed to get a reload of 7.25. The Hellcat's still there, but he went over the other side to start shooting. So he was behind the other bush, just on the right of the rock. Enemy tank in sight. Okay, let's see what he can do to this one. I'm not sure that one actually hit, but it did seem to go in the right direction. Fires one blind. No, that hits the rock behind, so no joy from that. The Hellcat's still there. In fact, there's a number of enemy tanks up ahead in those channels. The arc on this gun is very narrow. It's only 10 degrees total, 5 degrees either side of the center line. That means you might actually have to move the vehicle in order to get a shot on target. And sometimes when that happens, obviously... Oh, there you go. Finally sees the Zadimika. One more to kill. Gets him. First kill. Of course, Zadimika is also a Polish tank destroyer, but it's the tier 5 one. And again, you don't want to get hit the side of the Zadimika. You want to get the enemy to shoot you in the front if you can. Okay, Striv M42. Oh, Dispersion actually got that one. He didn't get that on target. Hopefully the guy will stay still long enough for us to get another one in. And he does this time for getting 298, which is a high roll. The guy's pulling back, so we won't get another one. But look at these two. They're perching behind the bush, thinking they're nice and safe, and they're not. And he might get the kill on the budgie. No, he just missed out. 278's a low roll, but only just. Go for it. Yes, gets the kill this time. So that's 2 kills, but the enemy is moving forward. And you can just about make out that T1 heavy. I think he can see us as well. Or is he look? He's not looking at us, but he's a one-shot now. And unfortunately, he goes behind the hangar, so we can't see him. And now Arty's starting to get involved. There's the T1, just over the top of the engine deck. Our team is losing very badly. We're one of only 4 left. No, 3 left on our team. But he does get the kill on T1 Heavy, and now he's been spotted. And he's starting to bounce rounds, because he does have very, very thick armor at the front of the vehicle, as I showed. But unfortunately, a lot of enemy shells are now bouncing off the front. In fact, the worry is that he's going to have an enemy tank visiting him soon. And we've got the Arty firing at him. And it is a Fifi, a 105 FH 18V2. And Zaddy Micah's coming in from this side. Yeah, one shot's enough to take care of him, even through the front of the vehicle. And now we've got a Covenanter. And go for the Hellcat first. Oh, we lost the commander. Oh dear. Punches one into the Hellcat. But oh my gun, we are taking hits. And they were all in the side of the vehicle. And now we're out of action, which means the last enemy, or last teammate that's still alive, is the Jackson. He's near the cap area. But there he is. I don't think he's going to survive for very long because there's just too many enemy tanks trying to take him out. And he's gone. And that's a loss. Here's the end of battle results. And that was the third-class tanker for Yarbas of OLIMP in the Burza. He managed to get a 5 for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills, he got 4 exactly, as well as a Burza medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, he got 5 exactly as well. But finally, he did get the high caliber in that game because he picked a spot where he could blast away at the enemy, and he did pick up a lot of hit points until, of course, he was the last one. Well, he wasn't really the last one fighting. There was still the Jackson fighting in a different area. But yes, unfortunately, the rest of his team fell down to the enemy whilst he was punching holes in them. And he was left all alone with the Jackson. Well, the win 8 from that one, 5,525, which is Super Unicum standard. And sadly, they haven't updated the database yet with the pictures of the vehicle. So that's why we get the big question mark. Let's have a look at team score. And the highest damage was 2,352 hit points. Second highest damage turned out to be the Hellcat that we saw at the end. He got 1,350, so half, well, slightly more than half that value. And in third place, we've got the Budgie on the enemy team with 1,274. When it came to kills, yeah, he got that one too, but he shares it with the VK3001H, who managed to get 4 kills as well. He also picked up a Lever Slayers medal in that game. And in second place, we got the Hellcat, the Budgie, and the enemy Fifi, and the Covenanter. All got 2 kills apiece. And when it came to base XP, well, it's the enemy team that comes out on top. In fact, funnily enough, it was the Covenanter who did the best. It is a particularly bad tank, the Covenanter, basically on its armor. And of course, it doesn't have a very serious gun, but it can do spotting. And that's how I think the Covenanter managed to make so many credits or so many experience points out of that one. He got 837. Second place was the Hellcat, 741. And in third place, we can see the VK3001H managed to get 678. And we can see Yarbas only got 453 because he was on the losing team. He fired 20 rounds of 100mm ammunition, got 11 direct hits and 11 penetrations. So when he did hit the target, it normally punched straight through because it has enough punch to do that at tier 6. 2,352 hit points, of which 1,850 were at more than 300 meters. So it did pay off being at long range because you could punch holes in the enemy and the enemy couldn't see you. 16 hits received though. 5 of those penetrated, 11 non-penetrations. You can see the front of the vehicle is very, very strong indeed. And when the enemy did see him, they tried to fire in his direction, but the shells wouldn't go through. It was only when he had to turn sideways to deal with the Covenanter and the Hellcat that finally the enemy could find a side that was weak enough for the shells to go right through. And in fact, the armor on the sides of this vehicle are only 50mm, whilst at the front, it's 150mm. So you can see why it's easier to punch through the sides than it is the front. He also received 5 hits by way of splash as well. Well, those are the HE rounds coming in from the enemy Arty, the Fifi. He blocked damage of 785 hit points totally. 6 enemy vehicles were damaged, 4 were killed, and he earned 11,673 credits in the game. as well as 1,084 experience points. And he got the Courageous Resistance Medal, or awards rather, I should say, not the medal. He got the awards because he actually managed to get a Battle Hero medal, the high caliber, in a losing game. So that was a bit of fun. He enjoyed it. He got beaten up, but he just enjoyed the experience. And he thought he'd share it with you because if you haven't gone down the Polish tank destroyer line yet, there are some really good tank destroyers in there. Some of them are comparable to the Soviet equivalents, but they are rather good. So just watch out for some of their foibles because some of them have a little oddities, like there are some places near the gun mantlets where the armor is 0. It's really odd. But if you ever see the video with the Gallica, you'll know what we mean, that there are little spots underneath the gun where the enemy will more than likely be aiming to try and get an easy pen on you. But yes, there we go, the Polish tank destroyers. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.